Hey, good morning. How are you? Let's see here. Just getting all set up. So, how are you? How's your week going? Let me know in the chat. I can't see the chat because for some reason it just says something went wrong. So, you guys can see the chat, but I can't until this is over. So, I'm so sorry about that. So, hit that notification bell. Please smash the thumbs up button and let's get cracking because today we are diving into the 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 cheat days and how we're going to do that strategically instead of letting it just happen. And it's okay to have a cheat day if that's what you want to call it. I don't call it that, but I know that that's what it's called throughout the carnivore community, but I don't think that's what it is because the truth is that as long as you prioritize protein, you're okay. And there's a way that you can add in other foods that are strategic. And I'm going to talk about that today. And I'm going to help you do that today so that when you schedule your days of your off days or your cheat days or your days off, whatever you want to call them, they're strategic and they're planned so that you don't feel like you're getting completely off track or when you fall off the wagon you're not rolling downhill. So I this is Polly's podcast and welcome. Got my handy dandy coffee. Mm. So this is going to be about cheat smarter, not harder. Ooh. I'm not endorsing eating junk food or eating things that spike insulin. Okay. So I want to get that straight right off the bat. I like my hair. You guys didn't comment about my hair. Just threw it all up in a. So the rule is to prioritize protein. So when we talk about falling off that ketovore or lion diet or falling off of the carnivore wagon, the idea is to maintain control. So 1 day is okay. 2 days is a pattern. 3 days, I think we've lost control. So we don't want to lose control. We want to and we don't want to create new patterns because the pattern is to keep insulin at a very level, steady rate. Blood sugar should be level and steady so that our storage hormone is not storing fat. It's we're increasing our ketones in our bodies and that we're burning stored body fat and increasing body muscle and increasing bone mass, right? Because we're trying to get healthier. All right. So, did you fall off the carnivore wagon? Let me know in the comments below or the side panel if you have ever fallen off the keto, carnivore, lion diet wagon and what you did to get back on track because that's the ticket. I mean, you have got to be very strategic to get back on track. Otherwise, it could fall into that, lost control, new pattern developing. So, first and foremost, if you've lost control, if you're creating a new pattern of eating junk, let it go. Get back on track. Jump back on that wagon. Look, I think it was Kung Fu Cat that said, everybody wants to be a black belt in Kung Fu, but nobody wants to put the work in. Well, unfortunately, sadly, this requires work. It requires hard work. And addiction, whether it's cigarettes, alcohol, or food, or anything else, is a biatch. It's tough as nails to deal with any addiction, and sugar and carbohydrates are some of the worst addictions out there. They're actually comparable to heroin. So let's understand that this is serious business. Okay. So let's support each other. Let's help each other out here. Let's grow our community. Let's get the word out that we're going to cheat smarter and not harder. Let me know where you're watching from. Mm. And if you're watching this live or in replay. All right. So if let's see. Oh, thanks for the thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you. How cool is that? Okay. So I can see the thumbs up and I can see the amount of people that are live, but I cannot see the chats. Okay. So what I have found is first and foremost is to let it go. You cannot dwell on the cheat days. You can't dwell on it. If you're going to cheat, or if you find that you're cheating, or if all of a sudden you had this massive craving and you fell off that wagon, that's okay. Just make sure that that's your only meal for the day. Because every single time you do OMAD, one meal a day, you're actually lowering your caloric intake. So you're in a caloric deficit. And it also puts you in the intermittent fasting category. So keep that in mind because that is tip number one. Big, huge, big tip. Tip number one. Make sure until you eat, until you're full, even on a cheat meal or an off diet meal, okay? Look, give yourself permission to have a learning curve and to satisfy some of your cravings. It's not a religion. This is not your religion. And you don't need to live in this tiny, teeny, tiny box. There's a way. So, for an example, let's say that you're eating a sandwich and it's a BLT, bacon, lettuce, tomato. Okay. And it's real bread. And there's mayonnaise and butter and tomatoes and lettuce. And the problem with that is it's going to spike your insulin. Why? Because you don't have enough protein to slow the digestion of the bread. So you can pair that BLT with maybe a side of ground beef, maybe a turkey breast, something that's a high volume of protein to slow down the digestion because the amount of bacon that's in that sandwich is not enough, and that will create a spike in insulin. So there's tip number two. And I don't want you to ever beat yourself up ever over you know, cravings or wanting to munch on something other than a carnivore food, something where you're again falling off the wagon because it's biology, it's chemistry. This is biology. It's not you. It's nothing to do with you. You are stronger than you think you are, but you do have two hunger levels in your body. Maybe some people have even more hunger levels than just two. I know that most of the people that I know have two. They have hunger and hunger. Okay. So understanding the difference between the two is critical. But sometimes the little devil takes over, and that's not your fault. I don't want anyone to feel like it's like it's your fault because it's not. It's biology. And again, you are stronger than you think. And sometimes, you give in, and that's okay. Let it go. Add more protein. Make sure you get a second helping of protein. or a first helping. Make sure that you have a big helping of protein before the end of day. And let it go. Start again tomorrow. Again, 1 day is okay. 2 days is a pattern. 3 days, we're losing control because we're snowballing. Okay. And we don't ever want to start from get go day one. Nobody wants that. We all remember the heartache, the pain, the discomfort, the fight. We all remember that. I know that I do. I'm pretty sure you do. Let me know in the comments if you remember the fight, the cravings, the wanting to eat even when you weren't hungry, hormones that were kicking up. Okay. Remember again, this is biology, it's hormones. It's not your fault. There's nothing you can do other than barrel right through. And sometimes some people cannot do that. And that's okay. Give yourself permission to start fresh tomorrow. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments below if that makes sense. Because I know it's tough. It's really super tough. And I would hate for anybody that's like in their third or fourth day or third or fourth week, third or fourth month of carnivore lion diet or ketovore diet to just fall off that wagon and start rolling downhill, because that is a disaster. Nobody needs to be going through that. Today is my day 6 of going very, very lean. I'm doing okay. I told you this, I think it was either on the 1st or the 2nd of the month in my video. If you don't remember, just go back and grab that, either March 1st or March 2nd, where I said I'm going to go lean for 30 days. And that's what I'm doing. And it's already, it's been 6 days and I've dropped 5 or 6 pounds so far. And I'm doing good. And I'm OMADing it on top of that. So not only am I going lean, but I'm doing OMAD. So it's 1 meal a day OMAD. And going lean means that I'm sticking to lean fats, lean meats, eggs. So basically, I'm doing chicken and turkey right now, and eggs. And I've also discovered that the first couple of days I could eat a little bit more, but the last, I would say 4 days, I'm not eating as much. And I'm concerned because when I sit down to eat, I get full fast. Now, I don't know if that's a lean thing because I've done lean before and I don't remember that. So anyway, I'm concerned about the amount of protein that I'm taking in. So I'm going to have to push a little bit harder to get more eggs in or more chicken or turkey in, because I don't ever want to lack on protein. Protein is key. The rule is protein first. That's the rule. Okay. So you can also plan like a weekly cheat day. Again, let me know in the comments below what word is appropriate for this, because I don't call it a cheat day. And I don't like the word cheat because no one's cheating on anything. So it's a, when you plan your off meal, right? Just try not to carb load. In other words, try to make protein a priority every day, no matter what. But if you're going to do some carbs that day, plan it in advance so that you regulate yourself. You're in control, because the last thing you want to do is create patterns that you don't want to create or lose control. So for an example, let me give you an example. You want to do a spaghetti dinner. Do it. Plan a spaghetti dinner. But remember, You have to have more meat than spaghetti because the meat slows down the digestion of the carbohydrates. So I'm not sitting here advocating for cheats or carbohydrates or sugar or glucose. I'm trying to help you limit that blood glucose saturation. I'm trying to get you to limit that insulin spike to the bare minimum. And the way to do that is through adding more protein. So if you're going to have spaghetti, make sure you have either ground turkey, ground chicken, ground beef, ground pork on that spaghetti, with that spaghetti, pair it with it. Maybe add it into whatever sauce you're doing, whether it's a ketovore sauce, a carnivore sauce, or even a plant-based sauce. Because I know that people that do keto do eat plants. So eat, if you're going to have, like, let's say 6 ounces of pasta, you need 12 ounces of protein at least to slow that digestion down. Okay. And make sure that it's OMAD. If you're going to eat carbohydrates, don't two-mad it. Don't do 2 meals a day. Don't do 3 meals a day. It's a 1 meal a day so that you stay in that calorie deficit. And that sort of really helps you stay. Again, I've said this at the beginning of the video, stays in that carbohydrate, um, limit. So, what is this? Yes, I've got some bullet points here. Pair your cheat with protein. It slows digestion. Okay, I already said that. You have to get back on track right away. You cannot let this go out of control. Planning your off days is awesome. It gives you something to look forward to. I'm not advocating for having off days. Look, carbohydrates are not safe to consume. Sugar is not safe in the blood. So I'm going to say this because I don't think people talk about this enough. And I want to be very clear about one thing. Blood glucose is so dangerous that it kills a lot of people every year. Having out of control sugar in the blood that should not be there, in the amounts it should not be there, is so dangerous. And I don't want to have to keep repeating this over and over again, but I find that I do. So for me, my blood glucose stays between 75 and 85 because I don't eat carbohydrates. I don't spike my insulin. I don't drink calories. I don't drink glucose or sugar. My body makes all of the glucose that it needs. And I don't take in fructose or sucrose. It's tough, but I remember the very beginning. I remember the start, and I never, ever want to be there again. I never want to be there again, ever. So, actually, I was talking to a girlfriend of mine who really was craving an In-N-Out burger. And my advice to her was to go to In-N-Out Burger and to get an In-N-Out burger, but maybe not the French fries and not the milkshake, maybe a diet or a zero soda, and make sure that that was her one meal for the day and get back on track the next day. And, my advice was not, hey, push that back. Hey, don't you do that. I'm not the food police, okay? And she's really craving a burger. She's been on track for over, 2.5 months now? Let her have a In-N-Out burger. Why not? As long as it was her OMAD. And I told her that. I said, make sure it's OMAD. That's your only meal for the day. Plan it go with some friends. Don't sit there alone and shove food in your face because sometimes you're just gonna shut the pie hole. But when you're having your In-N-Out burger, enjoy it, love it, and it doesn't have to be the carnivore, no buns. She wanted the bun. Let her have it. Let's not poo poo on people. It's not fair. It's not nice. We're not the food police. So she mad at it, had her burger at In-N-Out Burger, didn't eat anything the rest of the day. And the next day, she craved breakfast. So my, of course, advice was make sure you start with eggs and maybe some bacon and some sausage patties and, meat, a lot of meat. And she did. And then she got back on track, right? So it is important to understand how you're going to have your off meals, how you're going to plan your off meals, why you plan your off meals, and what to do if you fall off that wagon and start rolling off the hill. So it's cheating smarter and not harder, because the last thing you want to do is have that difficult comeback or start from day one. Okay. So I don't know what you guys are, feeling about my advice today. So I'd love to hear your feedback on my advice today, because I don't want to be the person that says, don't ever eat a piece of bread again. Don't ever eat, a piece of some pasta ever again. I don't want to be that person. Because who wants to live like that in a stupid little box? Nobody wants to live in a stupid little box and be told what to eat, what not to eat, they can never eat. I try really hard. It's a fight every single day. It's a fight for me to stay on track, but I stay very busy. So I'm going to give you the advice of staying very busy. Make sure that you're pursuing your goals and your dreams. Make sure that you're planning your meals in advance so that you don't have these things. And one thing you should know is the more protein that you eat, the less cravings you have. While I'm on that subject, GLP-1 is basically an amino acid. It's a protein. And so whether you take a shot of GLP-1 or eat meat, it's the same thing. So I prefer to eat the meat instead of take a shot. And how do you boost your GLP-1? Eat more meat. Eat more chicken, beef, pork, lamb, goat, eggs. Make sure that the sausage that you're buying is sugar-free. Make sure that your bacon is sugar-free. Enjoy your bacon, enjoy your sausage, enjoy your meats. You can even enjoy your cured meats like salami and pastrami. Enjoy them. Just make sure they don't have sugar. I'm actually getting ready to make a ground beef jerky. Now, I do make my own beef jerky. I make teriyaki beef jerky. But this is going to be like the first time that I'm making ground beef jerky. And it's a test to see if I can make it and make it good. Because I have a tough time finding beef jerkies that are sugar-free. And I want sugar-free teriyaki beef jerky. And I was thinking, if people who are on a budget, because not everybody grows beef like I do, right? So and I understand that because I eat mostly ground beef. I am not one of those people that sits here and says, I eat ribeye every day. I eat T-bone every day. I don't do that because I don't eat that every single day. And for the next, what is it now, 20 days? I mean, I'm only eating lean chicken and lean turkey and eggs. So no. And I don't subscribe to the whole T-bone and porterhouse steak and ribeye, phenomenon of carnivores. I just don't believe in it. I don't believe that they're doing that every single day. So I mean, like I said before, I've said it in another video, I raise beef cattle and I raise beef and I butcher beef and I can't afford to eat that every single day. So how's anybody else affording to do that every single day? And it's not sustainable. Anyway, I have a very diverse diet when it comes to my carnivore diet. And I do have ketovore days. So I'm 99% carnivore and 2% ketovore. I do use seasonings. And sometimes I have, like, once every few months, I'll have an off day, right? Or I plan an off day so that I'm going to a concert, or if I'm going to be at an anniversary dinner or a big birthday party. That doesn't mean I'm going to have a giant hunk of cake. It doesn't mean anything, okay? Because I might just choose berries, right, over cake. I'm not spiking my blood glucose for anyone or anything. I don't want that spike, so I make sure that I keep that always very level. I never want to start from get go. So I do cheat smarter and not harder. And if you like this type of content, please let me know in the comments below that you're finding value in this content, and that you want more of this. Also, hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you smash the bell and let the YouTube algorithm know that you're enjoying this content and it's valuable to you. We want to try and build our little community so that it's a little bit stronger and bigger and we can help each other out so that we don't have to struggle constantly, you know? So I'm trying to be here in the mornings around 10 a.m. I do release other videos throughout the week and some shorts here on Polly's podcast. So be on the lookout for those. Make sure you subscribe. It's free. I don't advertise. So if there's an advertisement on this video, it's not me putting it there. It's YouTube putting it there. But really, we don't have that many subscribers. So I don't see how they're putting ads here. I don't think they will. And I want to grow this channel organically. I want only the people who find value in this content to be here. So please, it's free, 100% free. And until next time, toodles, toodles. Bye for now.